And it all starts again here. Let's go into the new season. Let's see how far we can get in the Champions League. Starting right now. What's up guys, I'm ChasingLamely and welcome back to episode number 61 of Passport to Poland and of course the channel. If you haven't already, hit like and subscribe because that's how you find more episodes of this when they go out, just a thought. In today's episode we are playing the first qualifying round of the Champions League and we are playing Dundalk from Ireland, which I was told in a news item is a 999-mile round trip, which was a random useless fact. But there we go, it's a thing we've all learned today. So, let's see what we can do to make this work for us, shall we? Yeah, it should be okay. I think there's nothing else you need to know that's gone on transfer-wise. I've not brought anyone in or sent anyone out since the episode yesterday. Pre-season results have been kind of mixed. Again, it's just a case of trying to get the players fit because this game came very early. Obviously very early in the new season, but also because the money, we need the money. It's no secret we need the money, so we're playing big teams to bring in the money. Gives me a kind of sight of where we're at, so the fact that I know we can beat Young Boys is good. We can draw with Aalborg, we can draw with Copenhagen, we can beat Slask. I've got a vague sight of where we're at in terms of European competition. Also Dundalk, obviously, it's the middle of the Irish season, so Dundalk have already played half a season, or more than half a season, or however that may work out, whereas we haven't played a game in a few months, so their players are coming in match fit, and you've got to try and get as many of your players match fit as possible before you go into this competition. So I'm not expecting a big win today. I expect us to just kind of scrappily grind out a win is kind of my plan, but I think otherwise things are going well. We've not really leaned massively heavily on our first team for these games, but yeah, we're still putting out some big wins, which is good. Right, so we are the favourites. They're on excellent form, but of course we have no form to speak of. We've got 10 players unregistered, which is a real issue. I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of players I can't register, or how to register players I haven't, or just figure out the logistics. Mark Guay is on international duty with the Ivory Coast. Felipe Cruz is suspended. Kjell Sherpen is injured, so he won't play today. So, given the limited, this is literally everything in my squad, bar some youth teamers that are available. Given the limited resources, the team we've gone with are Sarnowski in goal. I don't think we've seen Sarnowski play for us. He has played at the Under-19 Championship qualifiers and at the Under-21 Championship for Poland over the summer. He's also wanted. He's always wanted by someone, but on loan where he's not available. He went out on loan to Monopoly in Serie B last season. Had actually a fairly good season. Still got a lot to learn, but he could turn to a quality keeper, so I'm not too worried about having him in goal. Delatka is at right back. We've got Gomez, Belodi and Devine completing the back four. Alex Rico gets the nod as the holding midfielder. Magoma, Longstaff, Liss, Wright and Sterling. I would have wanted, until he left earlier on this same day as you saw at the end of the last episode, I've wanted John Davis playing today. But John Davis has disappeared and gone to LA to start his Hollywood career. I don't know what his plan is, but we'll see what happens. Danilic, Gonzalez, Brown, Bajalski, Benavides, Fuat Asatakin, who I don't think we've seen play before. He was on loan last season at Niort. He's a Turkish youngster that we've got in. He's wanted by Esbjerg, but he's not going anywhere. Big star in the making. He'll definitely break through into the first team some point in the next season or so. And then Bargel completes the 7-man bench. I did have options on the bench, but nothing that felt like they needed to go. Jack Spong was a guy I considered putting in place of Izzy Brown, but obviously Izzy Brown can play as a striker, whereas Jack Spong can't. So that's an option. Obviously Gonzalez can play up there. The only option I had as a striker would be Connor Carty or Glovian Kowski, who we've not seen for a while. I went with Brown, just felt like a steadier hand. We can always change things up for the home leg though, so let's get into the game. Let's see what we can achieve, and let's hope that we can get ourselves a good old win to start things off. We're going to play both legs of the Dundalk game in today's episode. Same procedure as we did last season. Come to think of it, we're now in season 5. But yeah, we've played through the European games as we were heading for what we're heading for. Anyone in here that's vaguely famous or anything? I feel like I know Patrick Hoban. I don't know why. Played for Mansfield. He played for Oxford. That's why I remember him. I thought I was breaking out in hives. He is an ex-Oxford United player. So that explains why I know his name. Anyone else here that we know? He's their most assists. Jamie McGrath. Where's he come from? Just been playing around at Dundalk for a long time. Is this a famous Duffy? Michael Duffy, top goal scorer, most assists. That's a dangerous combination. Played for Celtic and Alloa and Dundee. So he has been around. I'd say he's got 3 caps as well. That's worrying. He has got some caps. That's good. Anyone else here that really sticks out as being a big name or a name? Robbie Benson seems like a name I know. Where do I know Robbie Benson's name from? I don't know. Maybe I had a save in the Irish League or picked him up on a save at some point. Anyone else here? Sean Gannon. Again, a guy who's been around Ireland forever. Who else will here? Which Boyle is this? Andy Boyle, formerly of Ross County. Dundee. Preston Doncaster. He has been up and about and got himself a cap. And then in goal, this lad Conor O'Malley, who played for Peterborough very briefly. Okay, so we've got some solid players up against us, but I think this team is probably better. We'll soon find out, of course, because we're going to go into the game and we'll see what we can make happen. Also, our second team manager left to go and become the manager of Rakoff, so I need to find a new reserve manager. I'm trying to find an ex-player that will do it, but it's proving difficult. Right, sale of talented youngster John Davis, his English was concerned. Yeah, I think we're just going to blame him. Feels fair. Hannah Roth doesn't suit him. He's been playing there for 2 seasons. I think we're probably okay. I don't know who he is. Felipe Cruz will be sure to be felt. Obviously, we'd rather have him available for the next game. He's just suspended for this one because he apparently picked up a suspension last time he played in Europe. So we'll go with it. A little bit of trepidation about having Sanofsky in goal rather than Sherpen, but I didn't want to risk Sherpen. He should be fit-ish for the second leg, and if he's not, Sanofsky needs to learn. So it's not a big loss. Although Boyle has got himself a free kick to Benson, and this is where the match fitness difference probably starts to tell as Dalatka picks up the ball, and they are at us again. Benson. Ball all the way back to Scott. Scott plays it forward. Let's get this clear. Belodi heads it out. Thought Rico was going to get to it. Definitely some match fitness issues because usually we'd be pressing them all over the field by now. We'd be all over them, and this is not it, Chief. Skelly, ball forward to Duffy to Benson. Dalatka just hoofs it clear, and now we're on the counter. Sterling, can he thread it through? He can't, but Magoma probably can, or he'll have a pop from distance. Either is possible. What was that? So many options, including his usual just hoof it at the goal from 50 yards out. And he's tapped it towards the corner flag, which is an interesting decision. Not necessarily the correct one, but an interesting decision nonetheless. They're picking up some yellow cards. Reece Devine and Dalatka are both suffering from a lack of fitness for sure. Devine taking the throw in now, finds Sterling. Sterling back to Devine, crosses it inside. Akeri Wright heads out to Longstaff, and Matty Longstaff with a volley in. I questioned in my head very briefly why Akeri Wright was heading it backwards rather than towards the goal, but do you know what? If it goes in, it goes in, and that's all I care about. That's a good old finish from Matty Longstaff, who I almost forgot to register for the league squad, although the window's not shut yet, so we can adjust that. It's not an issue. But Matty Longstaff has scored his first goal of the season, and he continues to impress. And this is apparently the last season before he's eligible for the Polish national team squad. Apparently, you have to get the passport and then wait 2 years before you can actually play for the team. As Dalatka crosses it into Sterling, heads it over the bar. So he should become available either during or just before, depending on how the maths work out, the European Championship, which is coming up, which is worth bearing in mind. We could still see him play for Poland. He has been watched by the England squad before, you remember. A couple of seasons ago he was being watched by England, so was Keziah Sterling. So we know he's in thoughts for international football at a higher level than for Poland, so you'd think he'd be able to get himself in the thoughts for Poland. Waldemar Lis as well is constantly being watched by the Polish national team manager. So we know he's developing into something quite special. Benson to McGrath. He's had a pop from distance. That's a hell of a goal. I can't blame the keeper for not saving that. That was special. That was quite a special goal. As these things go, throw in there from Grant to Scott. Scott plays it into Benson. McGrath just takes one touch, turns and batters it in. And we have to start thinking about maybe trying to score a second goal now. We're going to get creative. We're on the hour mark, or more or less on the hour mark as well, which makes it pretty much time to replace those two fullbacks. Dundalk is going to come on full Reece Devine. That's an absolute fact. But Bajelski, I think I'll give him a minute before I bring him on because he's not fully fit. And then the third sub, I don't know who it's going to be. It could be Waldemar Lis coming off for Izzy Brown. It could be Magoma coming off because he is booked, and I don't know who I would bring on for him, but we'll figure that out when we get there. As Hoban has a pop from distance, and that has just clipped the post and gone wide. Very dangerous looking shot from distance. We need to do more. In fact, let's do more attacking. Let's do more creativity. Let's do more substitutions. We'll take Dalatka off because he is most assuredly not looking like the man right now because he's tired. And then I have Rico or Magoma to come off, and whichever one I would take off would change who would come on, because I've got Benavides, I've got Gonzalez, I've got Asetkin, and I've got Barjal available. So we're going to give that a few minutes. Magoma is less tired than Rico, but also he's working less hard than Rico, and then Lis is also involved somewhere. This is not a game we should be drawing. It's got to be said. Not a game at all we should be drawing. Let's make a sub, and we need an attacking option. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to thinking time. Right, let's make a pause. Into tactics screen. We haven't done this in a while. We're going to go to our wingers formation. We're going to put Lis out on the wing, which should work out nicely. We're going to put Wright up top. Move Lis back to being the inverted winger that he likes to be on attack. Sterling, I think, can do inside forward quite happily, and then I think we're probably looking at taking off Magoma. Are we not? Are any of these guys natural Carriero? You think one of them must be, surely. Who is the next best guy to replace Magoma? That's the question. The next best guy, I'm just saying, just send Gonzalez on, and that's probably not the worst shout in the world. Let's just send Gonzalez on because he is a slightly more attacking player. Let's see if this gets us anything resembling a goal. It is a slightly more attacking option for us tactically, especially if we tell them to attack more. So we'll see what we can achieve, as O'Malley has got himself a free kick deep. Ball forward. Someone needs to get just on the end of this, although Duffy has picked it up, and that's a good ball to no one. Belodi, what can he do? Get the ball out would be ideal. He's managed to get the ball forward. He's found Akiri Wright. Akiri Wright's just going to go on a run past like 6 guys. One on with the keeper, taps it away, and that's a 2-1 win, hopefully, for us to take back to Poland. And I don't think we're ready for the change of formation that we've not done in several months. But, you know, I like to pull a surprise out. And I always get the impression people, when they play against us, try and take Waldemar Lis out of the game. Because he's such a big creative force for us. I think when he moves out wide, suddenly, it confuses defences a little bit. They're not quite ready for that. Let's demand more goals. Why not? They're focused. Maybe we can get another goal out of them. But Gannon has a free kick to Benson. Let's try and break this down quickly. Scott into Cowan. He's had a pop that's gone well wide, and we just need to see this game out, and hopefully things will be fine. Although another highlight, Mountney, ball forward to Dundalk is going to be there to clear it, but only as far as Mountney again. And can we get on the counter now? Keziah Sterling. Ball over the top here would do wonders. Just a ball away would do wonders. Liss is going to pick it up on the wing. Valdemar Liss beats his man. Plays it into Rico. Rico can have a pop from distance. Not really. I don't know what that was supposed to be. Danilic, what can he do? Ball back to Bologna. Bologna all the way back to Sarnowski. And that was a poor pass. Sarnowski is not a distributor of the ball. Gomez to Liss. What can Valdemar Liss do? Keep running? Nope, he's just been tackled and that's crossed the line. Hopefully this should be the final whistle. I can't see a reason it wouldn't be. We've had a weird camera change. That's usually an indicator. Bajalski plays to Gonzalez. Gonzalez back to Bajalski, who's brought down Benson. Is he sent off? No, whistle's gone for full time. We've had a 2-1 win. And that is as good a first leg as you're going to get. So, good stuff all around. Well, I say good stuff. Real Madrid have brought Laudrup back to the club. There's an interesting fact. I don't know which Laudrup, but you know, it doesn't make a difference to us unless we play them. Yeah, 2-1 win in the away leg is not too shabby. Anything else happening here? We've risen to see off the Lily Whites. We'll do the press conference, see what people are saying. It was a joy to behold. It's not a lot you can do. Yep. There's been a large swell of support, yes, because my team is epic. And Callum Parks has played for Wiesbaden today. I don't know if that was a league game or not. Probably wasn't, to be fair. Bit early in the season for a non-friendly game. Right, I'm going to cut here and come back in a second for the second leg. Let's see if we can secure our place in the next round so we know what we're doing next episode. Okay, we're back for the second leg against Dundalk, the home leg, and before we get into the game, there's been some transfer movements. There's a lot of transfer movements ongoing, and having happened. So, currently on the way out, Ghasana Hadme is finally leaving us looking like a £52,000 deal to someone in the first division. We're not sure if it will be Stomil or Tichy. We'll see which way he goes. Anton Logi Ludvigsen is heading back to Iceland for the season. So we'll see where he's going. Jordan Mukanev, 22,500 to Cheltenham looks likely. Israel Puerto going for 800,000 to Cosenza in the in the Italian Serie B. Looks likely. He's 30. He's not playing. Seemed like a good move for him. James Furlong could be joining Tichy as well. He's going on loan. Premislav Bargel on loan to Racing Santander as well, which is an interesting move for him. They're paying all of his wages. They are in the Segunda Division. So yeah, we'll see how they go. They've just got promoted back up after having a fairly good run in the early part of the century. So he could be on his way up. But also some players have gone, some players have come. So gone out since we last met. Guillermo Monge has gone to join Paderborn in Germany for the season on loan. He's a young striker who's hopefully going to develop into something quite special. So he's gone to get a year's worth of experience, and we'll see what he can do. He got 18 goals for the reserves last season, so we'll see what he can do in the Zwei Bundesliga and see if he becomes a force. Michel Borges has joined Erzgebirge Aue, who's one of many players I think they've got on loan from us at this point. But yeah, he wasn't going to play, so I thought I'd just let him go. On loan for the season, Jack Spong has been moaning about wanting to go on loan for the last season and a half. Finally found him a loan to Bristol Rovers, so he will go. I think they're playing in League 2. They are. He's going to go to League 2 for the season. We'll see what he turns into. Francesco Marchetti has joined Katowice. Again, another loan from him. Went to Cracovia last year and only played 3 games in the top flight. So hopefully, dropping down a division will mean he gets to play a lot and score a lot of goals. That's the hope for him. We'll see how he goes. And Hubert Delatka, who we saw in the last game, has joined Duisburg in the Zwei Bundesliga to play out the season. So we'll see what happens with him. Hopefully he'll have a good season. And we'll see what happens there as well. So lots of movement going out. Coming in, we've brought in one player since the last episode, was Fraser Hornby, the ex-Everton striker. Had a bit of a career. He's a Scottish under-21 international, was. But yeah, he's been at Everton for a while. He's had loans in Belgium, Coventry, Bolton, back to Coventry. Went back to Everton, played a couple of games for Everton as well. couple of late sub appearances, and then got released. So I thought we'd pick him up and see what we can turn him into. He's not a prolific goal scorer by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't need him to be. I need him to be the guy who can hold up the ball for everyone else. So we're going to see what he turns into. He won't play today because I couldn't register him in time, but he is in my squad as an option, which is very nice to have. So let's go into the heart of things. Nothing has changed in the preview. We're still favourites. Mark Way is still on international duty. Oh, that's new. A couple of players are suddenly ineligible because they played for the reserves. Never ever let your assistant managers take anyone who looks like they might be needing match fitness, because they'll play havoc with your team. Let's take the unavailable players out and let's see who we can replace those guys with. We're going to need someone to do a job at some kind of midfield type thing and defending. We will take Irishich because he frees up a lot of space. And I think I'll put Konakati on the bench. Look at Konakati. Those who watch La Lucia will know Konakati's name. Slightly higher level than he played for La Lucia, but we'll see what happens here. Otherwise, we'll go largely unchanged. Kel Sherpan obviously didn't play last game, but he'll start. Felipe Cruz makes his first start this season. It's Gomez, Belodi, Devine, Rico Magoma, Longstaff, Liss, Brighton, Sterling, Danilic, Jedricic, Brown, Bajelski, Benavides, Carty, and Bargel make up the bench. So may have to register some more players before the next round, which is going to be interesting. I'm hoping I can get Izzy Brown moved on. He won't sign a new contract. His contract runs at the end of the season. So I'm trying to get some money for him while I can get some money for him, which could pose problems. It's going to do some damage to our Champions League hopes, not having him as backup, but we will be able to register hopefully Kelly Valenzuela. So it could work out well in terms of overall turnover. I don't think this guy played last time. John O'Sullivan. What do we know about John O'Sullivan? Used to play for Morecambe, Dundee, Blackpool, Carlisle, Accrington, Blackburn, Bury, Rochdale, but he's been around, hasn't he? 300 league games. He has been around. Okay, maybe a good player for them. We'll soon find out. Let's see if we can just keep the lead we take from the first leg going and ease ourselves into the next round. And then we'll see how this determines what we end up doing next episode, because anything could happen. Anything could happen is a thing that could happen. That was an early yellow card. It was an early yellow card. Right, Valdemar Liss with a free kick where he likes to take them. Whips in the cross to the back post. It looks like it was off the bar. It's been bundled in by Keziah Sterling. That was interesting. Second minute, and I have no idea what happened there. There was some bundling in the box, and eventually the ball crossed the line, and apparently Sterling touched it last. So Liss whips in the corner, headed across goal. Keziah Sterling just kind of slides in, touches it, after O'Malley managed to parry it, and that's an easy early 1-goal lead. So it's a good start for us. Let's get creative. Kind of a good all-purpose shout, and we'll see what happens. Gannon, the ball, it started raining here in Wrocław, which is fine. Gannon, what's he got to offer? He's got a ball across to Benson, back to Gannon, pushing them back, which is nice to see. If we can keep pushing them back, they might just walk it into their own goal to be on the safe side. Costello gets a ball forward finally, but only as far as Belodi. Longstaff, Liss, back to Longstaff, ball over the top, and Keziah Sterling is on his way. He takes a shot from deep, and that's his second of the season, second of the game, assist by Matty Longstaff. And that's not a bad solo finish. That's his 50th goal for the club, apparently, which is a hell of a milestone for the boy to make. He's still nowhere near being our top scorer, which apparently is still Akiari Wright. But he's definitely closing in on being second. Second at this point, I think, is 63 goals. So he's probably going to reach that mark this season, which means Wright and Sterling are our two highest scoring players in the club's history, apparently. Or will be by the end of the season, you would certainly assume, as long as Sterling stays. Akiari Wright is most certainly the highest scoring striker in the club's history. Let's demand more goals from them, why not? Let's go on a bit of a mad route. Magoma, to Rico. What's Rico got? Ball to Longstaff, ball to Liss, ball to Sterling, back to Liss, back to Wright. Sterling might complete his hat-trick early here, you never know. Devine back to Longstaff, slow build-up play, but you know, no stress, no pressure. Longstaff with a ball back to Alex Rico. Rico ball over to Felipe Cruz. Felipe Cruz might have a pop, he might have a cross, we'll see what happens. Crosses to Sterling, Keziah Sterling gets his hat-trick in the 23rd minute of play. That's not too shabby at all. That's a first half hat-trick in the Champions League, which don't come by very often. And I think it's safe to say we've put Dundalk to bed. And I don't even know who we're playing in the next round, which is interesting. I'm sure we'll find out in just a second. But yeah, we'll see what we can do here. Keziah Sterling could be on for an absolutely magic target. Liss heads across the back post. Gomez heads over the bar. I'd love it if Keziah Sterling could score so many goals in this early stage that he ends up being the top scorer in the Champions League by default. That would be brilliant. Don't see it happening, but it'd be brilliant if it did. Because it would help his value above all else. Igor Gomez has been booked and we need time to ease off tackles. I think we'll not bother with that because let's let him be competitive. Let's demand more goals. I don't see why we wouldn't demand more goals. Things are looking pretty good after that first half. I'd like to see if Keziah Sterling can get a few more. I might even send Connor Carty on just so we can see if he's got what it takes to maybe make it at this level. Plus he's a good Irish lad. Having him play against an Irish team feels like a good way for him to make his debut. Liss crosses the ball in. Back post Macaulay has headed it clear, but Alex Rico will pick it up. And he should have options in the box if he needs them. He finds Magoma just to the edge of the box. Magoma will probably have a pop and it's just gone wide. And that's the second time we've seen him with a bit of wayward shooting this season, when he's usually so good from deep, which is slightly worrying. But we'll see how that goes because, you know, things could change with time. And yeah, just a nice kind of casual one at this point, isn't it? It's not the hardest game we've ever had. There's a temptation to take off all the guys who are on bookings, but I'd almost rather they got themselves sent off now and be done with it rather than take any risks. What have we got options wise? I think we're going to take let's take our two fullbacks off. Why not? Let's send on the two young Polish lads, Jedrzejczyk and Bojalski. Give them a chance to gain some match experience because that will certainly help their development. And then I can save that last sub, which will probably be Connor Carty or Izzy Brown, probably Connor Carty coming on for Keziah Sterling, so he can get his little curtain call. Ball over to Keziah Sterling though. Is he going to go for a fourth goal of the game? I think he might be. You know, he almost gets it, just tipped wide. Man's getting greedy. Man's getting greedy with his goals, which is exactly what you want from a striker. Let's not lie. Valdemar Liss is going to take the corner. What can he do from here? Crossing, anyone going to get on the end of it? Straight into the hands of O'Malley. It's a bit of a waste. And that's going to be the end of the highlight. So it was a bit of a waste all around. Liss with a free kick though. What's he going to get from this? Back to Magoma. Sterling, Keziah Sterling with his fourth of the game. Headed back across goal from the cross from Liss by Magoma, and Sterling is on the line just to put it away. And you'd question whether that was offside, but I think the ball was headed back towards him. It was, and he's just taken it on the volley. Any one of those five guys could have put that away, quite frankly. But Keziah Sterling says, "Nah, mine, boys," and he's taken it. And you know, I think this one's pretty much in the bag now. Let's praise them because they deserve praise for being 4-0 up. Although it is very much the Keziah Sterling show. And yeah, let's give Keziah Sterling his standing ovation. It's going to tell me to bring on Izzy Brown, but frankly, Connor Carty can make a debut for us. Why not? What is to lose from seeing what he can do in the next 5 minutes? Maybe he gets a goal. We'll see. But Sterling definitely man of the match, a solid 9.8 rating. Never in doubt, really, as man of the match. Conor O'Malley made his 200th career appearance. Well, letting in 4 goals, son. Probably not the way to do that, is it? Right. I hate when it does that. Especially when you're not paying attention. Let's do that. And let's just do a selected players. No? Why can't I do a selected players? presumably I can do some kind of selected players. I can. There we go. Um, let's tell them they were absolutely brilliant. Very happy. Everyone's confused. I'm confused. We're all confused. That's all worked out fine. Let's see what's happening with the calendar, because I'd like to play the first league game of the season, but I need to know what's happening here. We've gone past Dundalk. You didn't deserve anything. Probably true. Press conference. What is the press conference saying? It's true. As long as we're in it, we can win it. Because Sterling was faultless. I think Jason Juarez needs to play more. Would I consider recalling him? Yes. Taylor Richards will we'll think about it. We're going to play Dynamo Brest, who are from Belarus, in the next round, which is interesting. Their first game is on the 26th of July, which presumably has moved the Super Cup game, which is not ideal for us. Let's give Kazaya Sterling the praise he deserves. Fixture arrangements, we've moved the Super Cup game to the Saturday. The Pogon game has moved on. Alright, let's have a quick look at the calendar. See what we're going to do. I think what we might do is we'll play the first league game and the first Brest game in the next episode, and then we'll play Leisure and the second Brest game, because I want us to win a trophy, on Livecom in the episode after that, and that'll take us to the end of the week if my calculations have worked out right and I've remembered what day it is. So yeah, that feels like a plan. Right guys, with that having been said, thank you very much for watching. As always, I've been Chasing Lamely, and until next time. Oh, until next time, socials, like, subscribe, and until next time, I have been Chasing Lamely. Have a good one.